That was respect. Where's the
Oh ye, the court of room 107, fifth period advanced debate is now in session. The Honorable Judge I. M. Blind presiding. The case being tried today is the state of Pennsylvania versus Morgan McGrath. All please attend with respect. You may be seated.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I assume that you have your ballot materials with you, and I do have them now. I would like you to remember that today we're going to see the closing arguments, at which point in time I will give you some instructions about deliberation. Okay? Before we get started today, I just want to make sure, before we get to the closing arguments, does the defense rest? You were our last witnesses yesterday, or 2 days ago. So, do you have any other witnesses? No. Okay, so the defense rests. Any issues the prosecution would like to bring up before the closing argument? Then the defense may start with the closing arguments.
Good afternoon, Your Honor, opposing counsel, and members of the jury. Please bear with me as I bring this case to a close, proving Mr. Morgan McGrath not guilty of committing arson. Allow me to show that the prosecution has only built their case off of what they believe to be Morgan's motive, receiving a B- in Professor Bode's creative writing class. Apparently, the prosecution believes that my client found it appropriate to set a building on fire in reaction to a B-. And this is because Professor Bode is married to the head of the chemistry department. However, the prosecution failed to show a single piece of evidence that indicated that Morgan did in fact know of their relationship. It has also been shown throughout the trial that Mr. Morgan McGrath showed no signs of vengeance when in Lab 2A, and this completely demolishes their claimed motive. Moreover, it has been proved by the defense that both Jesse Dewar and Sal Richardson are both biased towards Morgan. Revealed in his cross, Sal Richardson had a full scholarship taken away from him and his overall better academic records, which led to statement 14 of line 14 of his own affidavit, and I quote, "I never told Morgan this, but my life would have turned out a lot easier if Morgan hadn't been around." And Jesse Dewar also admitted his cross to always being number 2 when it came to Morgan in academics, which of course would make him want to claim to have seen Morgan McGrath exit the Butterworth building via Lab 2A. This being said, I ask for the jury to keep in mind that he was the only witness who testified this, and if we take it a step further, he witnessed this while under the influence of a drug. To both Sal Richardson and Jesse Dewar, this case is merely an opportunity to finally push Morgan McGrath, a student who they both dearly envied, below them, if not academically, then by testifying falsely against him. It has also been made clear by Exhibit I that Morgan McGrath was not the last person in the building, but instead the last person to check out. As reviewed in Jesse Dewar's cross, after 6 p.m., those of the building are supposed to exit and re-enter scanning their ID cards, but they don't have to. The system is solely based on the honor system. And once one valid ID card is scanned, multiple people may enter the building having no record of their ID. This forces the question, if Mr. McGrath did in fact start that fire, why would he point a finger to his own name? There could have been someone else who started that fire, considering that according to Mr. Martiglione, the time of ignition was at 7:45, 10 minutes after Morgan checked out. To reinforce, an expert witness of the prosecution has proved that Morgan could not even be in the building when the fire started. He also testified to seeing a figure on security cameras entering and exiting Lab 2A, yet he was unable to identify whom the figure was due to technical difficulties. Chief Chris only guessed and assumed that it was Morgan McGrath. Other causes of the fire could include, as Mr. Waynes testified, that there are many papers lying around that could have set on fire on the hot plate that was left out by Mr. Dewar on Lab Station 1, which the prosecution's expert witness has determined to be where the fire started exactly. I would like to leave the jury with a question. Why would Mr. Morgan McGrath, who majors in chemistry, want to burn down the building that would make his future, all because of a B-, which would barely hurt him in the long run? As a prosecution, they have the burden of proof, which means they must provide evidence that fully indicates that Morgan McGrath did indeed start that fire, which they have failed to do. And as a jury, if you even slightly doubt what the prosecution has to offer, you may wish to vote in favor of the poorly accused Morgan McGrath. Thank you.